Oh, it's been said a bard's life can often be a hard life, or hill and dale to rove and always move from town to town. And some folk have inquired if ever we grow tired of ranging all around the world and never settling down.
But one should be a little wary of remaining stationary, 'cause comfortable is lovely, but it's not the way we grow. When life starts to unravel, pick up your pack and travel. You'll find a strange serenity in places you don't know. Wriggle-dee-dum-dee-doo-rat-terry-o-dee. There's so much to see beyond the open door. It's outward bound we go. Who knows what we'll find that we've never found before. Adventures waiting further down the road. It's waiting for you further down the road. You've got no map for showing which direction you are going.
But why start on a journey if you know where it will end?
And once you recognize,
to anticipate surprise, you'll relish every twist and turn that lies around the bend. Wriggle-dee-dum-dee-doo-rat-terry-o-dee-da-dee-da-dee. There's so much to see beyond the open door. It's outward bound we go. Who knows what we'll find that we've never found before. Adventures waiting further down the road. It's waiting for you further down the road. Lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. Lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. Lie-da-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. La-da-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. La-da-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. The world has got its demons. There are many reasons why you'd find it harder to be brave than be afraid. But every life could use some danger. Every friend was once a stranger. Ships are safe in harbor, but that's not why ships are made. Wriggle-dee-dum-dee-doo-rat-terry-o-dee. Dee, a fwit-dee-dee-dee. There's so much to see beyond the open door. It's outward bound we go. Who knows what we'll find that we've never found before. Adventures waiting further down the road. It's waiting for you further down the road. Lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. Lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. Lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. Ya-da-da-da-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. Adventures waiting further down the road. Let's go! Lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. Lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. Lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. Ya-da-da-da-da-lie-da-lie. La-da-da-da-da-lie-da-lie.
Good evening, friends, and welcome back to another edition of Gothic Horror Gaming. I'm the Gloom Master, and we are about to start on a new adventure here with our chill campaign. So before I get started, for anyone who happens to be new joining in at this point, I do want to make a quick disclaimer that this is, in fact, a horror-based role-playing game. We use two different systems and sort of combine them, but it is horror-based. And to that end, we do scenes of graphic horror, violence, possibly against minors, both spelled with an O and an E. We have creatures of common phobias, various things like that. Some adult themes creep their way into our stream here as well. So be aware that that is what you are in for. This is a tabletop live action role-playing game in the horror milieu. So be aware of that. And I would like to take a few moments before we begin to thank our sponsors, as always. We have a number of friends of ours who have been helping us out for a long time. First of all, I'd like to thank 3DTU, 3DTU.org, Jesse and Amy, making all sorts of gaming devices, whether they be dice towers, they have mimic dice boxes, journals, that sort of thing. Check them out at 3DTU.org. Also, we have, now I know this has just ended, so we don't have the banner up for our new one yet, but Destination Dungeons & Dragons through renadventures.com. Paulo Garbanzo just finished up running a game in Muncaster Castle in England just the other week. He just got back, so obviously that's why we don't have a new banner yet. But our next one, I can tell you, will be in New Orleans. At the end of November, beginning of December. I'm not sure. Actually, I think it's the second week of December. And it coincides with the Louisiana Renaissance Fair. So come on down, play some D&D in New Orleans, get to tour some spooky, wonderful sites, see all that New Orleans has to offer. And then it culminates in a trip to the Louisiana Renaissance Festival, where you will see many of the people you find on this stream performing for you at that fair. We would also be remiss if we were not to thank ourselves. Handler Z, who's in the background helping out, and myself, we have a book out. Melissa Handler Z wrote a book called Dare. It is a collection of short horror and science fiction, as well as some poetry. It's combined into a paperback, also available on Kindle, and as an audiobook version that I narrate. We have a new one coming up. Probably by the end of this year. We are trying to figure out which of her stories are going into it and what I still need to record to make that work. So we should hopefully have a new book out coming very, very soon. In a similar vein, Handler Z will in fact be doing Flash Phantasmagoria, where she writes horror stories, very short horror flash fiction on camera for you. We're changing the time. Instead of 10 a.m. tomorrow, it's going to be at noon. We have a baby in the house, so we discovered that she's usually asleep by noon for her nap. So we're going to try it at noon tomorrow and see if that works out a little better. So be sure to join us then. Now, on to tonight's game. Tonight's game is set in the Chill universe. Chill is a game that was created by Mayfair Games back in the 80s and has gone through several iterations, and several companies have owned it. But essentially, the supernatural is real. It is called the unknown in this game system. It is usually very powerful, and more often than not, very evil. It exists behind everything. It is not out in the open. The general public is unaware of it. However, there is a group of individuals who have banded together to combat the unknown. The Societas Argente Viae Eternitata. I hope I pronounced that right. My Latin's very rusty. But it translates to the Society of the Eternal Silver Way, or SAVE, as it is known colloquially. They are not a government organization. They are simply a group of philanthropists who have gathered together to combat the unknown, the supernatural, and to keep its effects and its knowledge from the world at large. All of our players, tonight anyway, have been exposed to the unknown before and have been contacted by SAVE in the past. So that is their inroad into the world tonight. The game system, however, is a very, very, very simple one. It's called Over the Edge. It is a gaming system that is delightfully simple. Every character has 3 traits. a primary trait, and 2 side traits. Those traits could be literally anything. You could have your primary trait be a police officer. Your side traits be an amateur photographer and devoutly religious. Now, during the game, if there is any time where you have to roll to see if you succeed at something, you would see if your action matches one of your traits. For instance, our police officer firing his service weapon would use his primary trait. If it falls under your primary trait, you get to roll 4 d6s, 4 6-sided dice, and attempt to hit a target number in order to succeed. If, however, it falls under one of your side traits, for instance, this same character is now attempting to recall a particular passage from the New Testament, let us say, for some reason, as being devoutly Christian, he would roll 3 d6 because that's one of his side traits, attempting to hit a target number. If it is something that has nothing to do with any of your traits at all, let us say this same character is attempting to rewire a fuse panel in a home, that would be 2 d6, attempting to hit a target number. Them's the rules. That is essentially it. Very, very simple. In the case of combat, the characters would roll their appropriate trait for whatever they're trying to do in combat against the appropriate trait of their target. So if one of the characters was being shot at by a crazed cultist with a shotgun, maybe the crazed cultist has no particular affinity for firearms. The cultist would roll 2 d6 attempting to shoot our player. And our player, let us say it is our police officer. He is used to combat situations. He would roll 4 d6. You compare the two numbers, and whoever has the higher succeeds. If the police officer succeeds, he dodges the shot. If the cultist beats the sum total of the police officer's numbers, he hits the police officer. And the difference is how much damage he does multiplied by the type of weapon. That is the most complex we've ever gotten with the rules. Now, you in Twitchlandia, you can affect the outcome of the game by spending your Twitch points with us and attempting to buy helps for our players. If you buy helps for our players, they can, or me as the game master, we can use those helps. You must declare the help before you roll it. It's very important. Before you roll it, declare the help. When you do, you get to add a die to your roll. However, you will still only take however many dice you would normally be allowed. For instance, our police officer would normally roll 4 d6 to shoot his gun. He elects to use a help. He rolls 5 d6 and takes the highest 4. Now, with all of that rules out of the way, let us begin our actual adventure here this evening. The year is 1991. Ah, delightful time. Hair metal is still in vogue, though grunge is rapidly supplanting it. Car phones are now just becoming a thing. Pagers are just starting to be available to the general public. The World Wide Web is mainly message boards at this point, slowly evolving into what we know and love, but only just now becoming a thing. The Iraq war, the first Iraq war where Saddam Hussein invaded Kuwait, has just transpired just the past year. So it is a different time. It is, good heavens, it is 33 years ago to our current day. Think of that. I know that's longer ago than some of our players have been alive. It was also the same year I started doing Renaissance fairs. But here we are. So we find ourselves in Richmond, Virginia, at the National Park Service. On staff, there is one Annalise Baker, an ornithologist for the National Park Department. Annalise, can you give us a moment and describe yourself and how you appear to those around you?
So I am 6 feet tall, super gangly, long dark hair. Basically, very long hair, wears a lot of plaid, is also in a grunge band on her nights off, but spends a lot of time in the woods with birds, so not the most, always a little smudged up.
A little dirty around the edges from field work.
Exactly.
Well, you have just come back from field work, and you are in in the cataloging department. There are all the log books from your field observations and from all of the other field observations. It's just rows and rows of files shoved on metal shelving. You're filing your most recent things. In the future, these will all be done with computer, but as of yet, you're only just starting to transition into putting all of these things onto floppy disks. And as you round the corner, standing in the aisle between the shelves is a man who seems very out of place. He is probably in his 40s, maybe. It's hard to tell his age. He's slightly graying around the temples, short cropped hair, clean shaven. He's wearing a nondescript charcoal gray suit with a thin 90s black tie. He's standing there just paging through one of the folders. And as you round the corner, he looks up and he goes, Oh, hello there. And he puts the file back exactly where it belongs. And he says, Miss Baker, I believe. My organization has been in touch with you before. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Gordon Pym. I'm with SAVE.
Oh, hello.
Yes. I remember, if you recall, we've been in communication back and forth about your experiences and how that your expertise might become handy in the future. We have such an incident not far from here that could use your expertise if you are available and free this weekend to take a look into what is going on. It's in a little place called Floyd, Virginia.
I mean, I have a show on Friday, but otherwise, yeah, I could go. Sure.
Well, it'll be fine if you arrived on Saturday. By the way, it is currently Friday afternoon.
Oh, I have a show tonight, but yeah, I could come tomorrow if that's okay.
Absolutely. Do you have transportation?
Yeah, I got my Jeep.
A Jeep. Oh, wonderful. There's a small town about 45 miles south of Roanoke, Virginia, on Interstate 81 called Floyd. There has been some unfortunate deaths there that defy explanation. We heard about it through the police reports, and we are assembling a group to possibly go down and take a look and see what there is. There is a Motel 6 directly off of Interstate 81 in Floyd. We have several other people we are approaching about assisting. We can get accommodations for all of you there. We will book 4 motel rooms for you there, and you can meet the other people on Saturday morning when you arrive.
Oh, okay, that I can do that. Sure.
Excellent. We have been recently giving out a little bit of equipment. We've had the ability to bolster our funds recently, and he reaches over, and stashed on the shelf is a cardboard box that you did not notice there before, and it is not actually a National Park Service box. It's just a plain brown, like a banker's box. And he pulls it out and he passes it over to you. He goes, I would recommend that you do not disclose the contents to the general public. And
Okay.
we will be by to collect it when you are finished.
Sure. That sounds good. Yeah.
Excellent. Well, there's also some documentation in there which will give you a little bit more information. Good luck, and have a lovely weekend in the Blue Ridge Mountains, and proceed with caution.
Okay. Thank you so much.
We
Thanks.
thank you for your assistance. With that, he takes a moment, looks around, and walks down the aisle away from where the door is. He goes around the corner, and there is a storage closet that you know of. He opens the closet door and goes inside the storage closet.
I that sir, um, he'll
There
figure
is
it out.
there is no response.
Okay. Can I look in the box?
Yes, when you open the box, inside is a two-way radio, apparently paired with other radios. It's a standard model. It's got a range of probably about 2 miles.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it takes 9-volt batteries. There's a couple extra 9-volt batteries there. There is a small, looks like a little bit of a dossier. It's like a sheet of paper, which has a bunch of people's names on it. And then the second page is a police report. And underneath that is a 45 semi-automatic pistol
Okay.
with a loaded magazine.
I'm just gonna close this back up for now. That's fine. Thanks.
He does not come out of that closet.
I'm gonna go. I don't.
Very well. You walk back out to the main reception area. Meanwhile, later that same day, in Roanoke, Virginia, Joshua Berry is in his auto repair garage. Joshua, tell us a little bit what you look like, how people would perceive you. You are muted, sir.
I did that to myself. Well, I'm just a good old boy. I've been running this auto shop ever since my grandpappy died. And, I don't look like much, just about 5'10", 5'11", some greasy black hair. Well, I'm not too clean, really.
Yeah, you're pretty smudged up from working in the shop.
I'm pretty smudged up all the time.
Your shop, what does it look like? Is it a single bay? Is it
Only one bay here? We
Okay.
ain't got room for much more. We ain't got room.
And is it just you that works there, or do you have help?
Just me for now. Yep. Like I said, my grandpappy owned this, and then he left it to me in his will. It's about the only thing he really ever known.
All right. Well, you are there working on a Friday afternoon, and as you are there tinkering around on a 1989 Ford Escort, working on the transmission. It's a manual. You're working on the transmission thereof. You hear footsteps, and you hear someone accidentally step on the little line that dings as a car drives over it. Somebody steps on it. It gives like a weak little bing. And as you poke your head around the Ford Escort, you see a nondescript man in a gray suit, black tie, graying at the temples, indeterminate age. And he approaches and goes, yes, Mr. Berry, I assume.
Yeah, I'll be with you in a moment. Just give me a second.
Oh, of course.
I'm gonna reach back into the truck and grab my rag and wipe my hands down. What can I do for you?
Yes. My name is Gordon Pym, and I'm with Save. We've been in contact with you before?
Yeah, listen, I told the other guys everything. I ain't got
Oh, yes.
nothing else.
And we do have that on file, and we thank you so much for filling us in as much as possible. But you might recall that we mentioned that in the future, if there was anything that was either near you or was in your area of expertise, we might ask for your assistance, purely voluntary, of course. But something has cropped up within an hour's drive of here. We were wondering if you had time this weekend to take a look.
Well, sure. got a little slow around here, so I got nothing but time. I guess I could take a look for you.
Oh, I see. That would be absolutely wonderful. Here he reaches around the corner outside the garage, and apparently he had set it on the ground outside. He picks up like a banker's box and he hands it to you, and he goes, "Here's just some equipment. I would recommend keeping its contents to yourself for now. We will collect it when it is all done. Hopefully." From you and not posthumously, but there are several grisly fatalities that are unexplained down the road in Floyd.
I'm right sorry to hear that.
Yes, so were we. We discovered the police reports, and it smacks of the unknown. And we were wondering if you could investigate and see what exactly is occurring in Floyd. All the relevant information is there. We have booked I know it is close to your home here, but we have booked motel rooms for you and the other save operatives that are joining you. They are listed in the dossier. You will see them. But they're staying. We have 4 rooms booked for you at the Motel 6 just off of Interstate 81, if you are amenable.
Well, all right. That sounds good to me. I mean, I guess why you need me to go though, I guess.
To be honest, you the encounter you had with the fire entities demonstrated your resilience, and this is literally in your backyard. It could not have been much closer if it didn't happen in your own hometown.
Well,
So
I don't want it to be much
hoping
closer.
that with such proximity, you would be able to get there quickly.
Well, all right then, I guess. What about these other folks you got coming in?
They're all listed in there. They're from generally the
I'm gonna
Eastern.
reach in the box and like open up the little thing and read while he's talking.
Yes, you can see that there's someone from Pennsylvania, someone from New York, and another fellow Virginian like yourself.
Oh, all right.
Various and sundry individuals who have been in contact with Save before, so they are known and vetted with us.
Well, berries don't break the promises, so guess I'm going to Floyd.
Thank you so much, and please proceed with caution.
That was the plan.
He turns around and he walks out. There's an old clunker that's been sitting out there. It's a 77 Chevy Nova that you just can't seem to get the timing right on it.
I know the woman.
And it's been kind of abandoned. The owner didn't have the money to get it repaired, and so he's just told you to keep it. Pim looks at it for a moment, looks at you and says, how much for this vehicle?
Well, I don't know. It's kind of taking up space. It's hardly worth the parts you got left in it.
Would $400 be sufficient?
Well, I guess so. That sounds all right to me.
Oh, very good. He pulls out 4 $100 bills, hands them to you.
Oh,
he says,
right now?
These are the keys here?
Yeah,
On the
that's them
floor?
right there. It don't run.
Oh, it'll be fine. Thank you very much. Again, proceed with caution.
All right.
The Nova starts up almost immediately, and he drives off.
Well, I'll be. All right. So I'm gonna just take the box and go in the cabin area of the mechanic shop and just kind of like dump it out onto the desk, see what else I got in there.
The contents are as described. There is a 2-way radio, some extra 9-volt batteries, a dossier, and a .45 caliber pistol with 1 loaded magazine.
All right, I'm gonna take that out, check it, and is the radio like on a certain channel or anything like that? Or
yes, it seems like it's a paired radio. Like it's only there's like 2 possible channels that can be used, and you're guessing it is matched frequencies with some other radios that are not currently present with you. Because when you turn it on, you just hear static.
All right.
You're familiar with this kind of radio. They only go about 2 miles. So allegedly somebody else has matching ones that will connect with this.
Well, all right. I'm going to turn off the lights, start my lockdown procedure. I assume it's getting like
It's
a
getting
little full into
it's
the
late afternoon. It's like
afternoon. Yeah.
4:30 in the afternoon.
Guess I'll close up shop early, flip the sign, shut the garage, lock it, and then hop in the pickup truck, let my dog in the front seat, and I guess I'm going to Floyd.
All right, very good. Meanwhile, back on Thursday in New York City, the hustle and the bustle of 1991 New York City, we find ourselves in the Carrington Hotel, proprieted by none other than Max Carrington, here before you. Max, can you describe what you look like and how you would be perceived by others?
Absolutely. I think as I look like, I currently right now at the hotel, I'm wearing a nice high-waisted pleated khaki pants, cream sweater is tucked into them. I have sort of a earth tone, maybe brownish gray, like driving coat, and about 6'2", 6'3", depending on the lift and the dress shoe. I think perceived by other people precariously trying a bit too hard.
Yeah, very good. I forgot to mention this to all of our players. The time of year, just to give you an idea, it is mid-September. It is mid-September.
Lighter driving coat than you would expect.
Yeah, very good. And we find you in the Carrington. What is the Carrington like?
It's a hotel recently owned by me that was originally built in the Art Deco period.
I see.
So it's a bit more of a grandiose lobby than anything else. A modest size building. I think it's probably 10 stories, not including a basement or the mezzanine level. And it's primarily black and gold interior.
All right. Very good. I assume there is a hotel bar and restaurant?
Yes, there is. Just off of that mezzanine level there.
Oh, very good. Well, on Thursday afternoon, you are getting ready for the evening. It's at 2:30 in the afternoon, so you're sure that everyone has all of their back stock, that they've done all their side work, all their prep work from the previous. All the garnishes are cut for the drinks. All of the house wines are fully stocked there, and there are a couple open of each, ready to go. The line cooks are busy prepping the dishes for the evening, and so you are in the restaurant overseeing that, and your front desk person comes up to you, Harold, and Harold says, "Excuse me, sir. There's a gentleman at the front desk to see you. He says he's a Mr. Pym, and that you are familiar with him."
Yes. Thank you, Harold. I will. Is he? You left him at the desk. I will.
Yes.
Should
I send him in, or would you like to go out and meet him there?
Just have him come back and send him to my office.
Very well, sir. I will send him there. A few moments later, sure enough, there is a knock on your office door after you've gotten in, and it is Gordon Pym, whom you have met before.
And Mr. Pym, always a pleasure to see you. What do I owe the pleasure of? I don't have you checking in, do I? You're not staying here.
Oh, no, certainly not. Though I would not rule out a drink at the bar before I go. However,
of course.
Unfortunately, my presence here portends ill omens. There is an incident that has transpired in Virginia, Southern Virginia specifically, in the Blue Ridge Mountains. And we are a little short on people in that region. We were hoping that maybe you were free this weekend to take a look into a series of unfortunate passings, let us say, under mysterious circumstances. I have information about it. I left the box at the front desk with Harold, was it?
Yes, very good.
There's information in there, and also I did not want to bring the box in here. There are some items in the box which you might find useful for any, if you choose to accept and go to Virginia, that maybe shouldn't be brought around restaurants in New York City. But I thought perhaps maybe if you are interested, you could take a look at the box and see what you think. And we've booked a simple motel rooms in the town of Floyd, Virginia, which is about 45 minutes south on Interstate 81. We understand that you do not really have a vehicle for long-range travel. Is this correct?
Yes, I don't. I can take public transit as far as possible. Then.
Oh, that is
Figure
certainly
some-
not necessary. Can you get to the airport?
Oh yes, absolutely. I absolutely can.
We have at the Hertz rental, we have the ability to provide you with a Chevy S10 Blazer that is available there if you are so inclined to accept.
Yes, I do. I do accept. How many you alluded to? Is it many disappearances?
There were 3 in one incident. There was not a disappearance. They were found. The details of which are
The manner in which
not
they
the
were
topic
found.
of polite conversation, nor are they. When you read the report, you will understand that it is very abnormal, which is why we are totally convinced that the unknown is involved.
Is the report in the box that
It
you
is.
left with Harold?
I
Very
did.
good. Something to read on the plane, then.
Oh, the plane. Oh, you want.
Oh no, sorry. I'm picking up a car at the airport. I misunderstood.
Oh yes. Do you need a flight to?
No,
we can get you
no. Oh, we can drive. That'll be just fine.
I would say we could get you a flight to Richmond, and you can drive from there.
No. I apologize for assuming I overstepped. I will gladly drive to Floyd. Was it?
Yes, Floyd. It is about a 9-hour drive from here.
Well,
The
plenty of
other
time
people
to.
that we've engaged to assist us would not be arriving in Floyd until Saturday morning, so that gives you plenty of time to get there.
I will get things squared away with the team here, see that people oversee the hotel, and I will meet everyone there Saturday.
That is wonderful. Mr. Carrington, thank you so much for your assistance, and as always, please proceed with caution.
Very good. I will trust I'll be seeing you again very soon.
I certainly hope so. He kind of looks awkwardly around for a moment. He goes, I think I'll go have that drink.
Absolutely. Just straight through there and right across the lobby.
Thank you. And he disappears across the lobby.
All right.
The box that you find from Harold is as described for the other individuals. There's a dossier, there's a 2-way radio with 2 channels, and a .45 caliber handgun.
All right.
Very good.
Very good.
Meanwhile, we also go to Mount Gretna, Pennsylvania, a lovely little artist community tucked away about a half hour outside of Hershey, Pennsylvania. Lovely little cottages in the hillsides. It's a lovely Thursday evening, and Alice Harvey is in her home finishing baking a round of cookies. What kind of cookies are you baking, Alice?
Oh, they're cranberry, of course. They're my specialty. My grandchildren love them.
Oh, excellent. Alice, can you describe yourself for everybody so that they are aware of who you are and what you look like and present as?
Hi, I'm Alice. I'm 72 years old. But I'm young for my age. Don't worry about it. I'm pretty short. I have a walker. It has a really big pocket. It's very dark. I keep a lot of stuff in there. Don't worry about it. And I have very silver hair. I have these huge glasses with the longest chains you could possibly ever figure for them. And I'm just your sweet grandma. I'm a very sweet grandma. But if you look a little too close in my eyes, not too much behind it.
I see. Well, you've just finished baking. You just put the cranberry cookies in the oven, like just now. And you hear a knock at your screen door. It's a lovely September, like late summer, early autumn afternoon. So it's very pleasant outside. You have the screen door open. Mount Gretton is the kind of community where you don't have to lock your doors if you don't want to. And lovely screen door out into the woods on the mountainside and all the other cottages around you. You know all of your neighbors. And there's a knock at the screen door.
Samuel Jean, is that you?
No, Miss Harvey.
Oh, who are you?
Oh, may I come in, please? It is.
Oh,
We've spoken on the phone once. My name is Gordon Pym.
oh yes, come in.
Uh,
I'm making cookies currently. You're gonna have to wait. They're gonna be hot.
Oh, did you? I see. The same nondescript charcoal suit, black thin tie, indeterminate age, graying at the temples. Gentleman walks in. He says, "Yes, Miss
Oh,
Harvey."
why don't you sit down? Just take a seat, okay? Okay. Do
I
you
would
want
love
anything
to.
drink?
Thank you.
I have juice. I have milk. I have coffee. Do you want coffee?
I would love some coffee, actually. Thank you.
Okay. And then I'm gonna go and like prattle and like probably throw a little bit around in my kitchen, but I'm gonna produce like a little like chipped cup of coffee for this gentleman.
Oh, I take it black. Thank you. Like
Oh,
my
there
magic.
you go. Okay.
Okay, I'm kidding.
What?
Nothing.
Oh.
Wonderful. This is very good coffee. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. I get it from the farmer's market.
Excellent. Do you go all the way down to Roots for that?
Oh yes, of course. My grandchildren, they come here all the time. But my eldest grandchild is 21 now, and which is wild to me because she used to be such a little thing with these beautiful, huge cheeks. I mean, she drives me sometimes when her mother lets her.
Well, people get older and taller over time. So I'm told. But I am here on business, unfortunately.
Oh, is your mother okay?
As far as I'm aware, he kind of
Okay.
looks wistfully in the distance for a moment, then focuses back on you. We have an incident that happened down in Southern Virginia in the Blue Ridge Mountains that we think specifically your area of expertise, he gives you a knowing look,
Oh.
might come in handy.
I'm always game for an adventure. That's what these kids are saying these days. I'm always ready.
Oh, well, 3 individuals have met untimely and grisly demises in a way that we are virtually assured is a expression of the unknown, the supernatural.
So it's
And the
going to be
fact
an
that,
interesting one.
yes, and the fact that whatever has caused this is willing to kill 3 grown men who are at work makes us think that you might be just the person to accompany the rest of the team on this expedition.
Oh, it's really not that hard to kill 3 grown men. But yeah, I got you. Let's go.
Oh, we know. We I know it is probably unnecessary as you are adequately equipped, but he reaches down next to him. He's apparently, you don't remember him walking in with this, but he reaches down and grabs a banker box at the edge of the couch that apparently was by his feet and puts it in front of you. He goes, the information.
Oh, how'd that get there?
It's I brought it. The information is inside, as the police report, the individuals in question, as well as some minor equipment, probably nothing nearly as intricate as you are available. Do you still have the
Oh, why do you think my basement's always locked? Don't want the kiddos getting into that.
Excellent. But you also still have your Ford Bronco?
Oh, yes. Technically, and I'm not saying that this is like a thing. I don't know, but I got a letter from the DFV saying that I shouldn't probably drive anymore. But I do anyway because what are they going to tell me? I'm 72.
the Pennsylvania Department of Motor Vehicles does not want you to drive anymore?
No, they said that something about my vision test. I don't know. My grandchildren, they said it, and they said they got it in the mail because my daughter, she gets all my mail at the house sometimes.
Oh well, have you recently upgraded your glasses?
I did. Thank you for noticing. I have to switch between this and readers sometimes, but
are they helping at all?
What happens? Yeah, well, of course I could still drive just fine even if I didn't have my glasses.
Oh, do me a favor. Would you look out that window there? Do you see across the street there? There is a newspaper on your neighbor's porch. Do you see that?
Yes, I do.
You actually do. And can you read the name of the newspaper from here?
Yeah.
It is actually crystal clear to you. Surprisingly crystal clear to you.
Yeah, it's the Pennsylvania Post. What do you take me for? I'm not a fool.
Excellent. Don't worry, we'll deal with the DMV. We'll make sure that they do not trouble you again.
That would be so sweet of you. Oh, I think my cookies are about done. You're gonna have to take some with you. You got to bring it home to the missus, and I don't know, save some for your mother. Okay, you always have to save some for your mother. And I go and I pull out the baking sheet and I just start getting my little oven mitts and I put them in a little baggie. They're burning hot, and then I hand it to you.
He picks them up, apparently unfazed by the temperature. He says, "Oh, this is wonderful. I will certainly enjoy them on my journey. I actually now have to drive to Virginia, which is where you'll be going for this weekend on Saturday morning in Floyd, Virginia. It's just down Interstate 81 from here, about a 7-hour drive."
Oh, I can do that very easily. Don't you worry, okay?
I thought you could. Well, good luck, and thank you for the cookies. Thank you for the coffee. And as always, proceed with caution.
You too, sweetheart. Okay?
I shall.
Okay. And then I'm going to go to the basement door, which has this giant lock. It's comically large. And I'm going to take out, I'm going to ruffle through my little walker pocket until I find a key, and I'm going to unlock it. And then I'm going to walk down. It is pitch black down there, and I just descend anyway.
All right. And that's where we'll fade out for now. Now we travel fast forward to Saturday morning. The Motel 6 on Interstate 81 in Floyd, Virginia finds a congruence of the four of you. You realize that you are all there on behalf of Save because you are the only 4 people that pull into that parking lot on Saturday morning. On your journey, you have taken the time to go through the dossier and the police report. The dossier has all of your names, all 4 of your names in it, as well as your primary occupation. Alice is listed as a retired grandmother. Annalise is listed as an ornithologist. Max is listed as a hotel owner. And Joshua is listed as an auto mechanic. That is all it says about your backgrounds. There is a brief physical description of all of you so that you can identify each other readily when you first meet. This other page is a police report. In Floyd, Virginia, on Tuesday of this past week, 3 land surveyors were out surveying the land for a new state road on the outskirts of Floyd, Virginia, to put in a new road to connect across the Blue Ridge Mountains. One Larry Felton, a Greg Thomas, and an Eli Granger went out to do some field surveys, all together in their pickup truck. When they did not return Tuesday evening to their office, the next day someone went out looking for them. They found the truck, and right where they were supposed to be surveying, they did find the surveying equipment. And they also found the skeletal remains of 3 adult men that matched the height descriptions of Larry, Greg, and Eli. Also around the skeletons, there was a bit of orange safety vests and various work equipment. However, growing through all 3 skeletons were 6-inch wide trees.
Okay.
That is the information you are given. There is also listed there is one. The town of Floyd, Virginia, is very small. It has a population of about 300 people. There is one sheriff and a deputy. That is the police force of Floyd. The sheriff is a Daryl Stanley, and the deputy is listed as a Lester Williams. And that is the information you have before you as the 4 of you meet up on Saturday morning.
Hi there, sweethearts. Oh, hello. Oh, I'm Alice. It's very nice to see all of you. Annalise, Joshua, and Max. Oh, I read your dossier. Oh, we're going to have so much fun together.
I guess you must be Alice.
I am, but you can call me Grandma if you need to. You know, I'm Grandma to about 6 or 7 now. I don't know. They just keep popping them out. I can't keep track.
Well, all
bully
right
for your
then.
family.
Oh, it's great to have a big family. You know, I love seeing the grandkids. Ugh.
Well, my name's Joshua. You can call me Josh if you want to. And this is Oscar. I'm gonna have my dog.
Oh, look at your dog. Your dog's so cute. Oh.
It's just a mutt, just like a mutt.
Wait, I have dog treats in my bag somewhere, and I go and I rustle through the pocket on my walker until I produce like this beautiful looking little like homemade dog treat that I offer.
Well,
Joshua, what kind of dog is it?
just a mutt.
And what's his name? Or hers?
Oscar.
Oscar, thank you.
Yep. I don't know what kind of dog he is. He just showed up one day.
Very good.
Pleasure to meet everyone. Alice, I did have a question, and I don't mean disrespect. Listed as your occupation is simply retired grandmother. What did you do before you retired?
Oh, well, I was an army medic and some other things, but don't worry about it. You know, I just like to take care of people, and I'm very, very good at it.
Oh,
That is both threatening and promising. Wonderful. Very good.
That's what they called me back in my day, threatening and promising.
I believe that 100%. And Elise, it's an absolute pleasure to meet you as well.
oh very, very nice to meet you. Is there any coffee around here? I really didn't sleep.
I have some coffee beans in here, but I don't have a way to make coffee, sweetheart.
You look across the street from the Motel 6. There is, in fact, a Denny's.
Perfect. I'm sorry. I had a show last night. Like, it went great. Like 20 people came, but like I really need coffee.
Well, all right.
Get
Let's
you some coffee, sweetheart. You know, I could. What do they have? Did they have waffles at Denny's? I want a waffle.
I'm sure we can get you a waffle. Yeah.
Probably not the weirdest request they've had. Let's go.
You find yourselves easily seated at a Denny's. It's a Denny's in the 90s, so it is the high point of breakfast. Perkins, Denny's, IHOP, they are all in full swing at this point. So you are in heaven.
I would like 2 black coffees and a moon's over my hammy. Thank you.
Oh, of course, of course. And for all of you,
I want
I
a
feel-
waffle, sweetheart. Can I get a waffle?
oh yes, of course. You just want a short stack of waffles,
I just want one waffle. I don't eat much because I'm 72.
a side
And
of
if
waffle. Got it.
Thank you, darling.
Just a coffee for me, please.
I'll do
Thank
this the same as Joshua. Just a black coffee. Appreciate it.
Oh, of course. You look around. There's no one else in this Denny's.
Take your time. You seem slammed.
Is that a play on our menu?
It can be
Grand
if that
slam?
is what makes you feel good. Yes.
You're all funny. I like you. And
Oh,
Yeah.
that's the humor of coming from a town with more than 12 people.
she wanders off to wake up the cook to get him to cook some dinner some breakfast for you and to pour your coffee.
You stick out like a sore thumb around here.
We'll also take that as the compliment it's intended.
Where'd you say you were from?
I'm walking right into this, but I'm from New York City.
Ah, one of them big old city slickers, eh?
Yes. I'm not gonna sit here and call you a country bumpkin. You do look like a man who works with his hands and doesn't know how to take care of them, and that's all right. I find it charming.
What's wrong with my hands? They are filthy.
I'm just glad you didn't get anything. Actually, Alice, in your purse, do you have like a wet wipe or something?
I don't have wet wipes. I do have a bunch of Kleenex, but I think they fell out of the box. So give me just a second, okay? And I just start digging, and like my whole arm goes in, and at the bottom, I found like the crustiest Kleenex you've ever seen.
We're all just a loose
sweetheart.
tissue in a Denny's.
You must be Max.
Yes,
Or
yes.
Mr. Parrington. My apologies.
If we're going to be working together under these circumstances, I think first names are important. So Max is perfectly fine.
All right. Well, how'd you get here, Max?
I drove.
Well, no, I mean, we're all working for this save peoples.
Oh,
And I imagine I'm not the only one here who's seen some stuff.
Oh no, of course not, honey.
What happened to you?
Nothing necessarily to me, but I run an older hotel in the city, and periodically from time to time we've had people who've either checked in and never left, or have been there and we don't have necessarily accounts for them. Elevators have taken people to floors that necessarily they weren't supposed to go to, or just some strange goings on in a very concentrated area. So just a nice hotbed that Mr. Pym and Save have been focused on for a couple of years. What about the rest of you? What have we run into that we can't explain? I mean, Annalise, you had you had a show last night. What other things have you seen shown? I'm interested to hear all about your birds.
Well, the peregrine falcon is a migratory bird in Virginia, and I have been studying patterns of where they like to travel throughout the mountain ranges. And that's what I do during the week. And then, the music's just like for fun. Like, it'd be great, like if we got like a contract or something, but like it's just really dark.
The music is dark.
Yeah, I mean, and it's dark outside. Yeah, so I like to go hiking and see where the birds are, and one of my colleagues, I saw them leave, and I don't like to talk about it that much. It kind of makes me nauseous.
When you say leave, do you mean
Well, they were here, and then they left, and they weren't here anymore.
Well, hell, people do that all the time. What's
I mean,
different about it?
It's the business of checking in and out of a hotel. Was it like?
I mean, so like that coffee stand is right, like where they're heating up the coffee right now. Right now it's there,
Mm-hmm.
but you might turn away and then you look back and then it's not. So, but if you don't turn away and you see where it goes, that's where I get nauseous.
Oh, yeah. Oh, sweetheart, I get that. You know, sometimes when you get older, too, it just happens a little too frequently. But, you know, you'll get over it. It'll be okay.
Uh-huh.
Well, all right. You seem to
I'll
know
make
a thing
sure-
or two about it.
And I'll make sure that if I ever leave, you get to watch me go.
No, I think that's what
Or-
she doesn't want.
All right, so I will make sure when I leave that you are not paying attention.
Great.
Do you
Can I
need
get
some
that coffee?
Tums? I have some Tums in my bag, sweetheart. Here you go. Here. And I, like, fish out, like, the little roll of, like, whatever, like, medication, and I give it to you. It's opened. Also crusty.
Here are your coffees, everyone. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. Your waffle will be ready, and your moons over my hammy will be done in just a moment. I'll be back with them shortly. The ham seems to have disappeared, so we've got to find that. But then I will surely be right back. All right. And she
Okay.
wanders off.
Thank you, sweetheart. You're doing great.
So, what's your deal, Granny? You got a magic purse there or something?
Oh, no, I just keep a lot of stuff around because you never know if it's going to be useful or not. No, you know, I saw a lot of things back in Vietnam. There was a lot. And, you know, sometimes a bunch of group of people just go off and do some stuff, and then you got to take care of it, you know? And I don't really ever have the words to describe that, what they were doing. It just wasn't good. So, you know, you take care of it. I do this just to take care of things, okay? I like taking care of people.
Up until this story, Alice, I've taken that you take care of people as like, and I don't want to overstep, but I've taken it as like you have nursed them back to health.
Well, yes,
but
I was a combat nurse for a number of years. I served in Cambodia, in Vietnam.
That feels like the secondary occupation, and that the primary was like taking care of like people, like a type of.
I don't know what you're talking about. I was a nurse.
All right. Well, Joshua, what do you have to add to this merry brood? Strangely enough, not the most awkward group of people ever to be in a Denny's. How did we manage that? We're still coming in normal.
Well, I'm about the only one that looks like I belong here.
And you should wear that badge with pride.
Listen, where are y'all from now? You're from New York.
Oh, right now I live in Pennsylvania, but
Right.
you know, I don't quite remember where my parents came from. But I think my dad, he was from Brooklyn, and then my mom, I don't know. There was a lot of Polish in her family, so I don't really know what happened there. They settled somewhere, but I live over in Pennsylvania. There's a lot of Amish around me. I have a very cute little cottage. All of my grandchildren are all around me all the time. It's very nice. I'm very good at baking too. Do we want cookies? I know that you have your coffees and stuff, and I just want my waffle. But here, I made these cranberry cookies, and I brought them all the way, and I wanted you all to have them. And I just hand out a cookie each.
At that same moment, the server,
crusty?
Phyllis, comes back and goes, "Oh, I'm sorry. Here's your waffles and your moons over my hammy.
You're
I didn't
perfect.
realize you
Oh,
brought
my-
your own desserts. That's
Oh, here, sweetheart, I have one for you too. You take this, and you take this one back to the cook too, okay?
You could see on her face she was about to admonish you for bringing in outside food, but handing her 2 bags of cookies, she just kind of takes a moment. shrugs and then walks back to the kitchen.
Have a good shift, sweetheart. Okay, this waffle looks great. And I just start going in and I get waffle all over my face.
So, Joshua, while she's distracted, what brought you to Save's attention?
Well, I used to be a volunteer firefighter, and I saw a fire that was, well, it was alive, like it could talk and stuff.
I see.
Yeah, burnt a house real good. We didn't get anybody out that time.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Well, it happens, but I told Save all about it, that it was telling me things, but then they said they might contact me for further questioning, and now I guess I'm here. So what's this about some disappearances we got? And I guess we ought to get to the bottom of it.
Well,
I have the police report right here in my bag, and I just throw it on the table.
It is identical to the police reports you all have had before. You recognize it immediately.
and not to put a fine point on it, when I was talking with Pim myself, he said that they've not disappeared. They have, in fact, been found. It's just the state of which they've been found. It is troubling.
Yeah, the police report
it's
specifically
terrible.
mentions how the bodies were found.
Yeah, the trees in them.
And already skeletalized within a day and a half.
Well, that don't happen by no natural means that I knows about.
I mean, I suppose you could use some caustic chemicals to get down to the bones, but I don't think that would work with. I don't know how you get the trees, because then you'd have to like take the skeleton and just sort of like under the tree, and that doesn't make sense.
Well, there's a lot about this that don't make no sense. So, where are you supposing we ought to start?
I mean, can we go see where the crime scene is, I guess?
There is a specific there are map coordinates in the police report of where the bodies were found.
Well, we can always go there or see if the local law enforcement is going to be helpful. I don't know if anyone else has experienced that is a...
Maybe we send Alice to talk to them.
I would love to go talk to the police officers. I'm actually very good with people. Especially if I can go and bake some lemon bread first. Everybody loves my lemon bread. It actually won an award about 10 years ago.
Oh, I don't want to judge, but I don't think that the accommodations we have here, the room came with an oven.
Oh. Well, I'll just have to go and talk to someone. Maybe they'll let me use the oven here.
Yes, there is no oven in the Motel 6.
Yes.
Well, I guess we ought to go get settled first. Check into our rooms and all that, and I don't know if the police are going to talk to us about nothing. There's no reason the four of us ought to be here asking questions. I've dealt with a couple of cops in my life.
Again, I'm not entirely surprised by that statement.
Well, I suppose I could use a shower first, and then we could go.
Yeah, that sounds very good. And then so we'll go to the crime scene first, and then I want to go talk to those boys in blue, because I think I can get some things out of them. Listen, they'll be just like my grandkids, and I will they'll tell me everything. It'll be great.
I'm sure
All
you
right.
can.
Phyllis comes by, drops the check, refills your coffees, asks if you want coffees to go, provides them if you want them.
Please.
I'm all right, thank you.
No, thank you. Coffee's not good for my blood sugar or my blood pressure or whatever the doctor says. So, thank you, sweetheart. You did so good.
Thank you, ma'am.
I want to go on outside and go up and check into the hotel or start the check in there. I didn't bring much with me, just a backpack.
I want to check in too.
Checking in is easy. There's no big deal.
I didn't think it was going to be difficult. We've probably quadrupled their business.
That are taken are there are 2 rooms reserved for what you rapidly learn are linemen who are there to repair telephone lines that are just going up and down the interstate repairing telephone lines as they go, and so they've stopped at this one, and then tomorrow they'll be at the next one. So.
Does the dossier say what exactly these what these people were doing out when they were
surveying?
They were surveying.
They were subcontracted by the Virginia Department of Transportation to survey for a new state road to cross over the Blue Ridge Mountains. For those of you who are not familiar, the Blue Ridge Mountains are a part of the Appalachian Mountains that extend all the way from up. They actually start up in Maine and cut all the way down through New York, Pennsylvania, all along the long diagonal of Virginia, Tennessee, all the way down and terminate into Georgia. The Blue Ridge is an area, the picture that is in the background right there behind you is in fact of the Blue Ridge Mountains. And that's why they get their name. Because they're always misty and blue. There's a section that's called the Smoky Mountains because of the moisture in the air creates this mist, this fog, so often during the year. It's also part of the Shenandoah Mountains, are a little bit further north, but they're all part of the same mountain range. Floyd is nestled in the just on the western side of the Blue Ridge Mountains along Interstate 81. 81 runs all the way down through from New York, all the way down to Tennessee, and basically follows the western edge of the mountains. And Skyline Drive, Proxima, is in fact beautiful. And Skyline Drive is a road that goes through the national parks along the ridges of the mountains.
These men that were subcontracted, were they staying in the area? Were they like native to the area and subcontract, or were they outsourced? Like, were they having to stay somewhere? Do we know that?
There is a company listed that they work for that is called Geographic Solutions. And it's listed as being based in Roanoke. Roanoke is not a small town, but it's also not a big city. It's somewhere betwixt the two.
And that's where Josh was from. How far is that from us?
About 45 miles away, so about an hour drive.
Okay. All right.
I want to go to the front desk person and just ask, like, so y'all get much business here from elsewhere? Big cities, types, anything like that?
Well, normally we get who stops on is people traveling the interstate going from A to B, and we're just a convenience stop along the way. Floyd is known for, it's got a little bit of a, back in the 60s, a bunch of hippies moved into Floyd. They were all trying to, it was the get back to the land movement. I don't know if you're familiar with that. But that's where most of the population of Floyd comes from. And there's a bunch of aging hippies that live in Floyd now. There's a nice little music scene, there's some old water mills around that people like to photograph because they're pretty, but all the mountain streams and all that. But It's usually pretty quiet here, man, and we just get interstate folk that are just going from point A to point B.
Can I see any like pamphlets or like when you go in a hotel and they've got like
Yep.
the like concierge thing? Is there anything there that like looks interesting or like specific or anything out of place?
There's
Even
brochures about the Blue Ridge Parkway, Skyline Drive, Shenandoah National Park. Luray Caverns are about 100 miles away, so there's things for that. There's stuff about natural arches not far away. There's talk about opening a Eighth Air Force Museum not far away, but not in Floyd. The only thing about Floyd is there's a couple of, it looks like handmade brochures about various folk music festivals and pottery classes and that kind of thing.
Well, my buddy here, I'm gonna point at Max. This is his first time around these parts, and I was just anything you think they needs to see before they head back to the big city. Anything special or interesting that most people don't really see.
Well, there's an art market on actually this afternoon downtown Floyd. Usually there's some people playing music and people trot out their handmade crafts and basically exchange them amongst each other. There's not too many people swing by besides people who are local. Every once in a while we get some interstate folk like yourselves or whatever who are stuck here for the weekend. We'll zip on by, or maybe like some painters who come on down to paint some of the mills and such. And sometimes some of the local painters will sell their works at the art market too.
Oh, thank you very much. Maybe we'll check those out. Appreciate you.
Sure. And I have you guys booked down here through tonight and Sunday night. Is that correct?
I think so. That's what it says then.
All right. Well, if you need to extend, just let me know. We'll just charge it to the card on file.
Which card is that, by the way? I've just forgotten which one we made it under.
Oh, it's an American Express under a Mr. Pym.
All right, that should be the right one.
All right. Well, the 4 rooms are based under that, and so I have a note here in my book when they called and made the reservation that you might need to extend a day or two, and if so, to just to put it on the card. It says if it goes past Wednesday that the card is no longer valid after that. So you can have the room from now until Wednesday if you need it.
Thanks. Business trip.
Well, I assumed it's a what is this? It's a strange company, Unknown LLC.
Yeah.
Interesting. So what do you folks do?
Oh,
Everyone on the count of 3.
The group of us travel as consultants for our company to assess the promise or opportunities for expansion. Always looking to take a stake in new areas.
Expansion into what?
Into
Are you retailers?
Development.
Birds.
Developing birds for the national parks.
Yeah.
yes,
Oh,
It's hard work.
yes.
you guys work with the National Park Service.
We
often find ourselves working
they
in the National Park
contract.
Service.
They contract us.
You
Yeah.
know, that's what they tell
so
me.
you guys are part of the
sometimes.
whole Shenandoah Park and the Blue Ridge National Park Service?
Yes, we're actually. I believe we have to go and look at a spot in the Blue Ridge Mountains on this trip, if I'm not mistaken. Isn't that correct, Annalise?
He
Yes.
gestures out the window and goes, "You mean those Blue Ridge Mountains right there?"
We're looking forward to it.
The very
What?
same. The very same. Their Majesty only blocked by the Denny's across the street.
No.
It was a good Denny's, okay?
Mhm.
Hey, Phyllis has got 2 kids. She does good work.
She does. Good for her. Oh, I should have given her cookies for the kids. I didn't know she had kids. Oh, well, we'll have to go back at some point. You know, this is a very quaint little town. I quite like it.
Well,
You
this
know-
isn't the town. You understand?
Oh, it's not? Oh,
No, ma'am. This is just the road stop. The main town is
oh.
about a mile that way, and he points to the east into the mountains. It's
Oh,
just right
we
over
should
there.
go there. Okay.
Yeah, this is
well,
just-
so then,
This is just all the service area for the interstate. Most of the folk who live
oh.
in town, they live a little bit over that next little ridge. It's
Mm.
nice and quiet in there.
You know, you were talking about these art markets, and I'm very interested. I am a baker myself, and my great granddaughter, she's also Alice. She is a budding artist, and I want to go and check out this and see if she might come here maybe someday to go and vend her wares. She's very talented. You know, she finger paints. She does these little weird statues. I don't know what they are.
Alice,
Yeah.
Alice,
You see that the Motel 6 clerk is kind of glazed over at this point.
I think we better get going.
Well, the
Oh.
art market's down in downtown Floyd. You can't miss it. It's the only traffic light in town.
All right. Oh, okay. Sure.
Thank you so much.
Well, we'll see you this evening.
Off to
Look.
develop the birds.
We'll leave the light on for you. That's our company
Oh,
new
that's
slogan.
It's great. It's wonderful. Just-
You said the thing.
All
I'm
right.
gonna go back inside.
So you have 4
Let's
vehicles.
go.
Are you going to take all 4 of them into town, or are you?
I can drive. It's fine. I can drive.
Who's got the biggest vehicle? I mean, I got my Jeep, but I don't know if everybody can get
Yeah.
into
So
it safely.
Annalise has a Jeep. Alice has a Ford Bronco. Max has a relatively new Chevy S10 Blazer, which is roughly the same size as a Bronco. And then Joshua has a, I guess like a
Rusty
Ford
pickup,
150 pickup truck.
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Let's take the Blazer. Most reliable there.
We absolutely can. Sure we can take mine. I was going to offer up, as much as it would pain me, if we want to, a town like this may or may not necessarily talk to individuals who are from outside it. And your truck and your Jeep may make us look more local.
Well, all right. Well, someone's got to ride bitch sheet.
Also, what are you doing with the dog?
Oh, he's just riding the back.
He's going to hang out in the back of the pickup truck?
Yeah, he'll ride in the back.
All right. How many
Alice,
pounds is your dog? How big is
yes, dear.
He's probably mid-size, so 30, 40 pounds.
it? 30 to 40 pounds? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
He's, a good-sized mutt.
All right. But he's
Probably
not like a tiny dog, and he's also not like a big German Shepherd.
No, he's not like a big German Shepherd. Probably like a lab something,
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Just get an idea of size.
He's a barn mutt.
Right.
He can ride in the back.
So that there's plenty of room in the Jeep for 3 people, including the driver. I mean, and plus the driver rather. And or there's the pickup truck, which has a bench seat in the front because the 90s.
Yep.
And so 2 people could fit in the front of the truck as well. How would you like to divvy yourselves up?
Well, we might need
Well,
the
if
2
it's
vehicles.
tall, I need
so-
help. You gotta help me up. I'm short, okay? My legs don't work like they used to when I was in my 20s.
Well, we also got these radios. I take out mine. Go. Shall I get something similar?
Oh yeah. And I search through my bag and I find it.
How
Um,
does
I
that
got
fit in
mine.
there?
I have mine.
A quick check determines that they all, in fact, are synced together, so that you can, if you're all on the same, there's a channel 1 and a channel 2. And if you're all on channel 1, you can communicate with each other. And if you're all on channel 2, you can communicate. But if some are on 1 and 2, it's just mix and match.
Okay.
Well, let's take the Jeep and,
All right.
you know,
Is it a Jeep Cherokee or is it an actual Jeep?
It's a Jeep.
Okay. Is it a cloth top, soft top?
It's a soft top.
All right.
And it's kind of muddy. I was out, in the field.
all right. Well, I'm gonna hop in the passenger side and go. All right, come on, and Oscar jump up in the back seat. Well, y'all get on in.
There is that space in the back of the Jeep where the Oscar could ride and still provide seats for everybody.
It's okay.
I thought he was gonna sit on Max's lap.
It looks very sweet. Okay. Somebody needs to help me in here. Okay. Get my walker. Put it in the trunk.
Oh God. Josh, did you just hop in the back of the Jeep?
I did.
So who's driving your truck?
Oh, well, the truck's gonna stay here. I think we can all fit in the Jeep.
You actually can all fit in the Jeep.
Then Swiss Family Robinson it is. All right, everybody in. Okay.
Before we proceed, what all are you bringing with you, starting with Alice?
Oh, of course I have my basket of everything
knows
that's
what's
on my
in that
walker. I never leave without it. There's
Right.
everything I could possibly need, including the contents of that box.
All right. But nothing else from the basement, right?
Oh, no, I put stuff from the basement in there. It
That's
fits.
not-
It's a very large pocket.
That's not going to fit in your bag on your walker.
Oh, do I need to go get my suitcase then? I'm going to go get my suitcase, okay? It's a very long suitcase, very long and thin.
Joshua, you recognize it as not just a suitcase. That is a hunting rifle case.
Okay, I don't know if we need all that right now.
Oh, but you never know. It's better to be prepared,
Well,
okay?
absolutely, and
Are you really
trust
going to
me-
try to take it away from me, huh, Joshua?
No, Granny, I'm not.
I thought so. You're a very good boy.
All
You
right.
just let me hold it right here and it's going to be fine.
I think it's best that we let her keep the suitcase.
I'm not fighting about it.
Is anyone else bringing the contents of your
My
safe
I
package?
definitely have the. You say it was a 44 or
45.
a 45?
45 semi-automatic. They're all 1911s. If you know anything about firearms, that is the standard military sidearm for a number of years.
Yeah,
mine is in the glove compartment.
All right.
Yeah.
So you
Mine's
all
in
brought
my
your
waistband.
45s, essentially.
Mine's in my waistband.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Mine's in the
And
glove compartment.
Alice has brought her case.
It's
And I-
my suitcase.
And
It has a
I,
floral print on it.
There's a bass guitar in the back.
Oh, I didn't know you played music. You're so talented.
Thanks.
In my pickup truck, I've also just got my to-go bag of tools. Not taking it with me in the Jeep, but it is in the pickup truck.
All right. So all your mechanics tools.
Yeah, like the bug bag for a mechanic.
and
Ratchets and wrenches and that kind of thing. Gotcha.
I've got my guns with me, but it's in just like a leather attaché case that also has some art paraphernalia, like a blank canvas and stuff to do a quick either painting or etching of something on it. That's what's
It's like watercolors and charcoals.
yeah, just
All right.
just in case, I post up somewhere, just we draw this out real quick.
All right. You drive into Floyd. It doesn't take very long in the one vehicle. And there is, in fact, a little art market set up in the, I wouldn't call it a town square, but the town center. There's a traffic light. There are some shops along there. There's a little pharmacy and all that. And in the lawn spaces in between, people have set up little tables, little folding tables, and they're doing a little art market today. Parking is easy. You just pull off to the side of the road, and there you are. You are in
Well.
downtown Floyd. Population 303.
Well,
Might be a good. Oh yes, Annalise.
I mean, if it's art market, it looks like you might know more about that than we do.
No, art is subjective, and I'm sure we're going to run into some creative pieces and individuals. Maybe a good opportunity to talk to the local color and see if anyone has any thoughts or opinions about what's transpired. I'm sure someone in town is talking about it.
Sure. Okay.
Well, I'm gonna hop out of the Jeep and I guess walk into the middle of the art exhibit.
Are you taking Oscar, or are you telling Oscar to wait in the car?
Oscar's gonna come with me.
All right. Oscar's trotting on your heels. Oscar is not the only free-range dog here. The people you see around you who are manning their art stalls, very hippies.
Mm-hmm.
The scent of patchouli permeates everything in and around you. Those of you who are familiar recognize the pungent aroma of herb drifting in.
Not the devil's lettuce.
There is certainly a freeness of the people as far as that is concerned. And in fact, yes, little kitten, skunk and BO is what you smell a lot of, and patchouli.
I remember
Alright.
this from the summer of '69.
It actually does remind you of that a lot, Alice.
Good for them. Good for this town. That was fun.
Well, I want to look around and just I guess it's mostly out of place. I'm not real familiar with all these art types, but is there anything that like just super catches my eye?
So art type, this is local folk art, not Metropolitan Museum of Art type. So
Right.
this is something you have seen. This is somebody does macrame and has made plant hangers, planters to hold your plants on your front porch out of macrame.
Yeah, I'm gonna go on a limb and say the mechanic doesn't know the word macrame.
Well, fair enough, but you've seen it. You've seen it. You just don't know the name of it.
Okay.
The older mothers have them on their porches. There are a bunch of stalls of wire wrapped gemstones, earrings, like semi-precious stone earrings. Ooh, this is quartz crystals and wrapped in silver, and it's an earring. Ooh, a lot of feather earrings because it's the 90s. There's a potter who's competent but not greatly skilled. Like, yes, that is a coffee mug. Good for you, sort of thing. There are people. There's one guy selling homemade soaps. There is in fact, Max, there is a gentleman who has a bunch of watercolors of the mills and the mountains around the area. And there's a tiny little stage that's maybe 8 foot by 8 foot platform set off to the side, currently unoccupied. Bob Ross is actually oil paints. He does not do watercolors.
And that's that on that. I would like to talk to the individual, to the artist in the watercolors, specifically as they have the mountains.
All right. Yes. You walk on up. He's got some. They're nice. I mean, they're not stunning, but they're nice paintings. They're not. He's not without talent. It's just not a masterpiece or anything like that.
You've got some lovely pieces here. Did you paint these all yourself?
Well, yes, I did. My name's David. Nice to meet you.
David, lovely to meet you. Max, pleasure.
Max, nice to meet you too.
Have you lived here your entire life?
Oh no, I moved here in '67.
So
I was originally up in Baltimore.
Oh, lovely, lovely. I see you seem to be a very big fan of the mountains that surround this area. I mean, how can you
Well, that's
not
why I
be?
moved here. It's very nice, and I thought, as long as I'm going to be painting, I might as well be in amongst all the really nice paints, the nice scenery, so I can paint them here.
I mean, it's gorgeous. And do you spend a lot of time out in the mountains, or are you more on the outside looking in, as it were?
Well, I try to find spots. I mean, I live here in town. Um, I grew up in Baltimore, so I'm not as countrified as some of these people. But not that they're not lovely people, because they are. But in the past, 30 years that I've been, almost 30 years that I've been here, it's been really nice. Just going on out and. I'll find it's a national park, so there are trails, and I just find a place to park. I hike in about a half mile or so, and then I find a nice vista and I paint it like you see here.
I find their beauty is captivating. I'm not from around here either. I'm from New York. I'm visiting some friends of mine. I kind of
Nice.
point into the general direction of Annalise, Alice, and Joshua, just to be like. And I was just curious. With you spending so much time in the mountains, have you ever heard of it? Just anything strange going on in them? I mean, they're just so vast.
Well,
I have to believe there's some.
These Blue Ridge Mountains, they're part of the Appalachian Mountains.
Mm-hmm.
These are some of the oldest mountains on Earth. There's so much strange, so much weird. They don't find dinosaur bones here. You know why?
Tell me why. I didn't know that.
These mountains are too old. They predate dinosaurs. There
Really?
were no dinosaurs when these mountains came up. That's why you can find like old plants and stuff, but you can't find dinosaurs because they weren't alive when these mountains came up. I heard tell that these mountains are older than the rings of Saturn. I heard that from Carl Sagan on his show, Cosmos.
You, my friend, are just full of fascinating information.
Well, that's why I moved here. I mean, just so amazing. And the weird stuff happens around here all the time. And a lot of it's just folk tales and folklore and all that stuff. But, we did have, I heard Sheriff Stanley was talking about some 3 surveyors that went, something happened. He didn't elaborate, but the way he was talking, something bad happened to them. Just about, I'm guessing it's about 4 or 5 miles, roughly that way. And he points toward a mountain peak, roughly that way, that they were surveying up there. And he didn't say what happened to him, but the way he was talking, something spooky and bad happened to him. I don't know where they are now.
Do you have any idea? Like, if you could take a guess, what it might be?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe they saw something scary, or maybe they went missing. But I think if it was missing, then we'd have search parties. But I haven't heard about that. They've been kind of quiet about it.
Interesting.
So I don't know. Maybe they died. I don't know.
Oh. Did a lot of people die when they go to the mountains?
I mean, there's always stories and legend of somebody's uncle's so and so passed away mysteriously in the mountains. But I'm going to be honest with you. There's a lot of people who live up there in those mountains.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want to be on the map, if you will. A lot of moonshiners, a lot of people who are on the periphery of the law kind of thing. Maybe they're growing something out there they shouldn't be growing. Not that I'm judging them for it at all. No. I certainly enjoy every once in a while. But so those folk out there keep to themselves a bit. So who really knows what goes on out there?
It gives credence to the idea that the national park system is not designed to keep us out, but to keep whatever in there in.
I've never heard it phrased like that, but I do kind of like it.
Well, I appreciate your. Let me buy one of your paintings of them, specifically of the ridge we were talking about. Do you have any of that ridge area that we were talking about that you
Oh,
maybe
yes,
have
of
painted?
course. I've been out. I've looked over that area a number of times. Indeed. Let's see this one right here. And he pulls out a nice watercolor. That's $20.
You have yourself a sale, my friend. I would love to own it.
I would love to give it to you. Here you are, and may you enjoy it in your home. Are you an artist yourself?
I dabble here and
Dabble.
there. Got some supplies. Maybe I'll take a moment to paint some of the surrounding area while I'm here.
Well, you know what? If where I painted this from, if you want to go to get this vista, if you go down State Road 35,
Very good.
and you go down about 5 miles, and there's a little dirt road turnoff. Doesn't have a name. Goes off to the right from State Road 35, and then you go about maybe another half mile, and there's a little turnout and looks over a ridge, and that's where I painted this one.
Well, I will absolutely go. Thank you. I will check that out.
Please do. Always nice to meet a fellow kindred soul. You have a lovely time.
You as well. Thank you. Take care.
While Max has been doing that, what have the rest of you been doing? Let's start with Alice. Alice, what are you doing?
Oh, well, of course, I'm going to go and look at all the stalls, and I'm going to start chatting people up. But I am very interested to look and try to find, because it's not a very big town. So I want to go and try to see where the police, where the police house thing is.
Oh, the police station is it's right there.
I want to go walk to it, and I want to keep an eye on my friends, because, I don't know what trouble they're going to get up to. So.
All right. The door is open. You can walk right in.
I might as well just walk right in. It takes me a little bit if there's stairs, because stairs are hard, because I'm 72.
3 steps.
Beautiful. I can do it real easy. It takes me 3 minutes. But you know what? I go in, and I just walk in, and is there anyone? Is there a receptionist or anything?
There is a desk, and it looks like there's an open room with a desk, some seating, a payphone, and then there's a door that goes to a back room. At that desk there's a young man sitting there, and he looks as you come in. He's wearing a police type, a sheriff type uniform, kind of that beige color shirt, and he stands and goes, "Ma'am, can I help you?"
Oh, yes. What's your name? Who are you?
I'm Deputy Williams.
Oh, very nice to meet you, Deputy Williams. I got a couple of friends in town, and we just had we're working on a little thing. Oh, let me hold on just a second. And I start rifling through my bag, and I pull out just a little. It looks like a wallet, but it's not quite that. It's what you would expect to find a certain. A badge or an identification. And I imagine that the camera's facing away from where I'm showing this to this gentleman. They're like, "Oh yes, so my name is Alice. I just had a couple of questions. Because my friends and I are here."
Is what I think on the badge?
Yes, it is.
Now that's outdated. But
that's fine.
All right. He looks at it and his eyes get big for a moment. And he goes, "Yes, ma'am. How oh my.
You're not in trouble, Sonny. You would know if you were in trouble, and I promise you're not. Oh, look at your cute little cheeks. Oh, you're so cute. I bet you have a cute little girlfriend at home. Anyway, we just had a couple of questions about these 3 gentlemen that had that mysterious little thing that happened to them and have the trees through.
Yeah, yes, ma'am. Would you like to have this conversation in private?
Yeah, I would like to. Yeah, I mean, there's.
He goes over and he
else
locks the door, the front door.
Oh, great. Okay.
Do
you
yes,
need
yes,
something
ma'am.
from me?
How? Oh, this got big fast.
It's okay. You're not in trouble. I promised you would know.
How can I help?
So what I want you to do, and I'm gonna take a seat.
There are plenty. There are like 3 chairs besides the one behind the desk.
Great. I want to take the biggest chair. And I just want to pull it right in front of his desk. And I'd be like, all right, so I want you to go through all of the details exactly as you remember. And don't just repeat back to me what the case file says. I want you to remember it all for me, okay?
All right,
And if
I
you're a
want you.
very good boy, I'm gonna give you a cookie at the end. Okay.
All right, Alice, I want you to roll. I'm going to let you roll 4d6 on this.
Fabulous. I'm
This is
terrified.
to persuade him with your credentials to spill the beans.
Amazing. That is an 8.
He seems a little hesitant,
Hmm.
but then he says, well, here's what I can tell you.
Okay.
We got a call about a team of surveyors who didn't come back home overnight. So Sheriff Stanley and I got in the police vehicle and we drove out to where they were supposed to be surveying. And when we arrived, we did find their survey equipment. It looked like it was set up. It goes one of those range finders on a tripod kind of thing that you look through. And then
Yeah.
about 50 yards away, we found a stake with markers on it that was laid over on the ground. So from my understanding, when they survey, one guy is looking through that thing, and the other guy's standing down there with the stake, and they sight in on that. That way they get the elevation correct and the distance and all that. And then the third person is there to take it down and oversee everything. So that equipment was all there. And we didn't see anybody at first. And then about 25 yards away, we found a disturbed area of ground. And there we found human remains. They looked old. We would have thought, I mean, they were skeletons, essentially, which doesn't make any sense. These people only were missing for a day. But you know, we cordoned the area off. I mean, there were trees growing through their rib cages and such, and some of the bones were broken out and around them, but they were on the surface. And there was some shreds of like orange fabric that we later determined was like safety vests and stuff, and so the remnants of work boots and things. And when we sent the dental records off, and preliminary results are that, as far as we can tell, and until we get like the full field results back, it seems like the 3 skeletons were found were those 3 surveyors. It doesn't make any sense. They were only gone for a day. Their truck was even there. It had half a tank of gas in it.
You know, sometimes I guess you just anger a tree or something. I don't know what to tell you.
It doesn't make any sense. And I wouldn't be telling you this. Sheriff Stanley told me not to talk to anybody. There was a reporter or 2 that came around who were asking like, "Oh, we heard there was missing people." And I'm like, "No, they're not missing. They're found." And then I kind of left it at that because I didn't want to give them anything to go off of. But
That's very smart of you, but you know.
But there were 3 men who went out into the mountains to do some surveying work, and they showed up dead. But they looked like they were dead for a long time, but they couldn't have been dead for a long time. They just ate down at the Denny's the other day.
Oh, maybe it was the Denny's. I don't know.
It doesn't make any sense. I'm just hoping that some lab result comes back and tells us that we're wrong, that these aren't the 3 men we're looking for. I'd rather that they still be missing and we have to go out and look for them, because I can't imagine how the 3 bodies were found are them, but I can't see how it isn't.
Oh, my sweet boy. And I want to put a hand on his shoulder if I can reach. You
Yeah.
know, sometimes things happen in this lifetime that we cannot comprehend, but it's gonna be okay. You know how I know it's gonna be okay? It's because I'm
How?
gonna figure it out. Granny's gonna figure it out, okay? I'm a very smart granny. So, how about that reporter? Do you have a name for that reporter? I'd love to go talk to them.
Oh, they were from up. They had actually come down from Richmond. Uh, uh, Dan Harlan, and as far as I know, when he didn't get a story, he just went back.
Oh, all
He
right.
he, he didn't
Well,
stick around. He heard there was missing people, and he came down
mhm.
and asked, and I told him that they weren't missing; they were found. And he went, "Oh," and he left.
Oh, well, no sense of fun with that one. But that's quite all right. Well, sweetheart, I thank you so much for telling me. And you're sure there's nothing you're not telling me, right?
Not that I can think of, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Well, you did very good. I'm very proud of you. I bet your mother's proud of you too. And your father.
Uh, Ma'am, is there going to be any sort of official follow up? Should I write a report or anything?
Oh, you know what? I will take care of it, okay? That's my job today, okay? You did everything you needed to.
Good, because the sooner I can forget about this and pretend it didn't happen, the better.
You know, I get that, but some things haunt you forever. Someday I'll tell you about Vietnam. Anyway,
I wish you wouldn't.
all right, sweetheart. So the thing is, also other question: is there an oven I can use in here? Because my lemon bread, I feel like it's gonna help me crack the
Oh,
case.
ma'am, I wish there was. We do not have an oven in the police station. I'm terribly
Does
sorry.
someone have an oven in here? And with that, I'm just gonna take my walker and I'm gonna go to the door. Can you unlock this, sweetheart?
Oh, yes, of
I
course,
can't
ma'am.
see all that well. Thank you. Oh, you're so kind.
And he lets you
Okay.
out.
All right.
Uh,
Bye bye now. I'm gonna
b-
go see my other my associates. That's the word. Oh, don't think about that too hard. Okay, bye.
Annalise, what have you been doing while Max and Alice have been off doing their thing?
I don't know if anybody else saw all these feather earrings. This is an endangered species. Where did you find this? Is this
I'm
locally
sorry.
sourced? Are these locally sourced, the feathers?
Uh, yes, ma'am.
Do you know who collects them? Like, could I talk to them? I would love to know. This is a bird that has not been seen in this area in 20 years, and I would really love
Well,
the
well, I
opportunity to
mean,
find out where they
I
collected it from.
collected them. I just go out and I go through nature hikes. You're speaking to like a 60-year-old woman, and
Oh,
she's like I just go on out into the woods and go for hikes, and whatever I find on the ground I pick up and I bring home and I make these beautiful earrings.
oh, they're absolutely lovely. uh, do you, do you recommend a place to go hiking to look for that sort of thing? I mean, I definitely want to buy these though. How much are these?
Oh, they're $5.
Thank you. They're beautiful.
Yeah, I just go on all the trails that I can find. I just usually go out, 3 times a week and just go for a hike for like a good 4 hours, and then when I see what I find, and you can see I've got some like nice little quartz rocks and
Hmm.
everything, and then I just bring them home and I wire wrap them and make jewelry out of them.
It's beautiful. I love your work. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I just I just go around and I look around and I find beauty in nature, and I try to capture it and pass it on to others.
Do you ever see anything weird out there?
Oh, I seen a raccoon chase off a black bear once. That was funny.
Oh wow,
Um,
that's
I don't travel. I don't stray too far into the woods. Not that I'm superstitious or anything, but there's some folk who live out there who don't want to be found for various reasons.
oh okay.
Um, Usually because they're out there making, and she lowers her voice, moonshine and such.
Oh,
There's a couple of stills out there in the hillside. that if you stumble across them, the people who own those stills get really mad. And this part of the country has a fair number of missing people, if you know what I mean.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah.
Which reminds me, I haven't seen Clint or Joel in a while.
Oh no, or do they help you collect the
Oh no,
the
no,
feathers?
they are some of the aforementioned individuals
Oh,
who have a copper vessels out in the hillside.
I see.
And they're normally here for the festival. I mean, we have this one every every second Saturday of the month, and they are normally here, and they're normally quietly distributing their product.
Oh, I see.
And they're not
I'm
here this time around, which is weird, because normally they're here. And
is
their stuff
there
is good. Their stuff is smooth. You don't have to worry about no wood alcohol or blindness with their stuff. They're
oh,
very particular, and they make sure their stuff is triple distilled and smooth.
that sounds really nice. Is there some way to like check in on them or
Well,
stop by?
I don't know exactly where they live or where their still is. I think it's if you go up State Road 35
Okay.
and you go like about 6 or 7 miles up the road, and then you go to the left and take off on there's a dirt road, and then apparently there's a little pond, and if you go up around the other side of the pond, that maybe there's an old deer trail that'll take you to their spot. But
Oh,
I would not recommend going there because they're very territorial about their production, and also they don't want and she jerks her head toward the police station, the wrong people finding out about it.
yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Well,
I mean, they don't want to pay taxes on it, and so
no,
they
no. Yeah.
just distill it out there in the woods. And I mean, Stanley and Williams, they're nice folk, but you know, as long as you don't put it in their faces that they have to act on the law, then they won't. But you got to be careful.
No, that makes sense. And what's your name, ma'am? It's so nice to meet you.
Mabel.
Mabel. Thank you so much, and I love your work. Thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome, and enjoy those earrings.
I will. Thank you.
Meanwhile, Joshua, what are you doing?
I think I'm actually was just behind Max during his whole conversation, trying to listen in.
And it was easy
there.
to.
Yeah, just kind of like hanging out around there. Again, I don't know if I've got a lot to say to the people who would be assembled here, but 'cause I'm not probably real comfortable in public and talking to people mostly. But trying to listen into Max's conversation and like being from generally the area, I also kind of know about, I guess, kind of the lay of these ridges here.
Mm.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Well,
making
while
sure
you're
he didn't
all,
say anything completely out of, sorts about it. So
well, as you all finish up your activities roughly at the same time, at that same moment, as you all sort of reconvene almost by accident in the center of the square, you hear a sudden drone and a high-pitched note. And as you glance over toward that little stage area, there is a tall gentleman there who is walking over there wearing a kilt. and the drone is of the bagpipes. He's got red bushy hair, a big red bushy beard. You notice immediately he's not wearing any shoes. He walks up, stands on the stage, and starts playing Scottish pipes on the stage and playing them incredibly well. And the crowd sort of gathers around as this barefooted piper starts playing on the stage. He seems to have most of the people in the town enthralled with his piping.
Enthralled in like we've never heard bagpipes kind of way, or enthralled?
No. Enthralled as in they are like, oh, this guy. We love this guy. He's good. We can't wait to hear what he's playing.
All right.
Not like magically enthralled or anything.
Okay. Cool.
They just start marching forward, and they don't look us in the eye. And
glazed look over the eyes. Just a bagpipes. I must go. No. It's more of a oh, he's finally come out. We knew he was coming today, and he's playing for us. Let's go listen to him play, kind of thing.
Oh, well, he's very talented. I want to listen a little closer, which I know you're not supposed to do with bagpipes because they're loud and it'll damage your hearing. But I want to. I'm 72 and I can do whatever I want. And I just go walk forward.
He plays a little set of the he plays a little set of just the basic tunes that all of us who work Renaissance fairs know and love, and also dread. But he's excellent. He's flawless. He finishes his set. He smiles, and several people are walking up talking to him. He seems to be he's a quiet person, but he also seems to be holding court at the same time. He is clearly someone important in this town.
Well, I want to go say hello whenever it's my turn then.
All right. I'll sort of file in with the crowd then.
Did the person that Max was talking to, did he kind of go over and listen as well, or did he maintain his stall?
He maintained his stall, but he was certainly interested in listening from where he was.
I just want to go up to him and go, "Hey, friend, who's that over there?"
Oh, that's Taylor Barrett. He's a local. He's been here as long as anybody can remember, and I mean, he's probably only about 50, but I think he was born in this area, and he's so talented. He's so good at it. And if you want to know about Floyd, Virginia, that man right there is Floyd, Virginia.
Well, you heard the man, Max. That there's Floyd, Virginia. Mayhaps we ought to go introduce ourselves.
thought his name was Taylor. For me. All right. Well,
you all sort of conglomerate and meet him at roughly the same time. The crowd is pretty much dispersed. They've gone back to doing their thing, and there's a barefooted, tall, lean, redheaded man, probably around 50-ish, with his bagpipes, and he sees you with a big bushy red beard. He sees you come on up. There's hello, I don't recognize you folk.
No, my name is Alice. You play very, very well. You're very talented.
Well, thank you, Alice. I do appreciate it.
Oh, you're so kind too. Isn't he kind? Look at those manners. I love this so much. Oh my goodness. You know, we're new in town. We're just visiting. And something
welcome
tells
to
me,
Floyd.
Oh, thank you. You know, we're very happy to be here. But something tells me, you know, my little grandma senses are tingling. Ha ha ha. You seem to be very popular here. Now, I feel like you might be able to tell us something about this place here, right? Some visitors, give us some good information.
Well, I've lived here most of my life.
Oh.
And I do enjoy myself and I like to think that I do know a bit about the surrounding countryside. What would you like to know?
Oh, friends, what would we like to know?
Uh, um, um, hi,
Hello, ma'am. What's your name?
I'm Annalise.
Annalise. He takes your
Yeah,
hand
hi,
and just holds it gently and goes, "It is a pleasure to meet you."
thank you. I like birds.
Oh, oh, you're an ornithologist.
Yeah,
That is
I am.
fantastic. Do you have a favorite raptor?
I don't trust this guy.
He's laying it on
No
thick.
one knows the word ornithologist. Come on.
He jumped straight from she likes birds to guessing her profession.
Wow. No one's ever asked me before. I mean, I like the red-bellied hawk. But I mean, I've met peregrine falcons lately.
Oh, really? I'm more
Yeah.
of a sharp-shinned hawk type of person myself.
Oh, wow.
Ah.
Um,
They're more prevalent around here. You see a lot of them.
that sounds great.
It is. Uh, and these are your friends?
Oh, um, yes, yes. This is
Ma-
Max and Josh and Alice.
Max, is that Max?
Hi.
Is that Maxwell or
Uh,
Maximilian?
it, it is Maxwell.
Maxwell, it's a pleasure to meet you, sir. You're from up north,
Likewise. I am. Yes, New York.
New York. I've been there. It's very nice.
It is.
And
It is.
Joshua, you look like a local boy.
Not to here, but to Roanoke.
That's local enough.
Local enough. I run a mechanic shop up around those parts.
Oh, I should bring my old Ford up there sometime.
Oh, I could love to see what I could do about it.
It's got a miss in it somewhere, and I'd love to figure out where. And I just hope that it's an easy fix.
Well, if you can get it on by, I'll take. I'm happy to take.
Oh, it runs just fine. I'll bring it on up sometime. And madam, what is your name?
Oh, my name is Alice.
Miss Alice, it is a pleasure to meet you. So
Oh,
you're all
exactly.
visitors to my humble little town of Floyd.
I
Oh, is
sure
it yours?
am.
Oh, it is far from mine. Just I've lived here longer than most of the people who live here.
Hmm.
Most of the fine folk, and he gestures at the art market, only moved here in the past 20 to 30 years. I was born and raised here.
Oh.
It's a beautiful town.
Well, we might be cousins.
I mean, I left for a while. I went to Pittsburgh and went to Carnegie Mellon for a bit, but it was much nicer to come back here and just be at home. I hope you find our home amenable to you.
We have
So far, the only complaint Alice has is there's no oven in the Motel 6.
There is no ovens here. My lemon bread is world renowned, and by world renowned I mean in the town that I live in, Pennsylvania, everyone loves it.
And Vietnam.
Oh, you're from Pennsylvania. Whereabouts?
Oh, I actually hold on. Sometimes my memory fails me a little bit, and I have to look it up. I'm from Mount Gretna. I live there now. My grandchildren are all within about 30 minutes, so they all come and visit, and I bake them a bunch of little treats, and then I send them home all sugared up for their parents, just like my mother used to do for me.
Mount Gretna. I'm not familiar with Mount Gretna. Where
Oh,
is
it's
that?
next to Hershey.
Oh, Hershey. All right. I know of Hershey. I've never been there.
Oh, that's a
Seems
shame.
very
It's very nice.
Well, very good. So you're all down here visiting, and you had questions, you said. What can I tell you about?
Oh, we're just trying to settle into town. We have a conundrum that we're looking into. So,
Oh, really?
I know that you're very busy, it seems. You have a lot of fans.
Oh,
Maybe
I'm not I don't have fans. I have friends, and I'm not busy at
Oh.
all.
Oh, well, we just had breakfast, but I think it's time for me to have a cup of coffee now. Despite what my doctor says, I know it doesn't do good things for your blood pressure. Would you join us for a cup of coffee so we can go and talk about our little conundrum?
I would be delighted. And he picks up his pipes and the little jar that he set out. That's probably got like 20, $30 in it that people have stuffed in there. And he picks that up and he goes, there's the coffee shop right over there. The steaming cup. We can just go in there.
Oh, that sounds great. Now, doesn't it, friends?
I could use a coffee.
Oh, Annalise, how about you go walk next to this fine gentleman? I'm going to walk behind here because I'm slow and I'm 72. I can't move very fast.
You're 72. I would not have guessed above 65.
I could be your mother. Aren't you sweet?
Well, thank you, darling. And you get to the coffee shop.
Great.
We're going a little long today, but that's all right because I'm loving where this is going. So as long as you guys are all right with that.
It's fine, yeah.
Sure.
All right.
We're here.
He sits you down at the coffee shop where there's a nice table for 5. And he says, "And isn't this a nice dog? It reminds me of mine. He's back at my house. His Lancelot is his name."
Oh, how sweet. Isn't it, Joshua? That's so sweet.
Yeah, that's sweet. This is Oscar because I found him in a trash can.
Oh, he's a grouch, is he?
Well, no, just the trash can. reminded me of-
Right.
Yeah.
That's delightful.
No, he's a good boy. He's
Good.
very friendly. Hey, Oscar, you go stay outside now, okay?
Oscar licks the exposed knee of Taylor in a friendly way, and then goes outside. Oscar seems to like Taylor.
All right. So, Taylor, you where'd you learn how to play them bagpipes?
When I was up at Carnegie Mellon, actually, I went up there for engineering, but discovered that they offered a minor in bagpiping, and I was curious because my folks were Scottish originally, living down here in Appalachia. There's a lot of Scots folk who live around here. You've heard of the McCoys and the Hatfields, that whole thing?
Yeah.
Mhm.
They all live in Appalachia. Well, McCoy, that's Scottish. A lot of Scottish settlers lived in here. And I thought I'd get back to my Scottish roots, and I learned bagpipes up there. But then I decided the engineering in the big wide world wasn't for me, and I came back home, but I kept the bagpipes.
Well, that's you clearly were born with a talent for it. So
Well, thank you. I really didn't have much of a talent for anything else. I was not very good at engineering school, which is one of the reasons why I left. There's too many numbers. Learning was nice and all, but trying to apply it every day was a little much.
Oh, I get that. The only number I can count to is 17. Then it gets a little muddy.
He looks at you for a moment, and then he smiles and says, "Ma'am, I don't think anything gets muddy for you."
You're so right. It actually doesn't. But who are you all to know? Anyway, it's very nice. I think this is a great place to have this conversation. Don't you, Max? A very private little space. I feel like, Max, you're the most eloquent of all. How about you tell our friend about our little conundrum?
Certainly. Taylor, we're here kind of taking stock of the area, and we can't help but in the city and where we're out from, you always hear sort of interesting stories about this area, specifically the mountains. And I was curious, do you know of just any lore or maybe a legend that may be told about the surrounding area that would pique our interest?
Well, there are many legends that run all up and down. If you go up toward West Virginia, you get your Mothman. And if you go down a little further south, you get some Sasquatch, Bigfoot stuff. But ghosts of witches' hollows and that sort of thing.
Well,
But
you've been here. You said longer than anybody else who's been in the area. Exactly how long have you lived here?
well, I'm 50. And of those 50 years, I've lived 40 of them here.
Oh, well, then so certainly there's something more. I don't know. What's the word? Am I looking for less mainstream than Mothman or Sasquatch? Maybe just
There are so many legends around here. I mean, this part of this land was Cherokee for a long period of time, until Jackson came through. But generally speaking, it's you get your legends of the hollers and the down in the holler and all the horrible things and all of that. You get your native legends about Wendigos and such, and I'm not saying that they're not true. I'm just saying I've never seen anything like that. But I'm guessing you're asking about those 3 surveyor fellas.
So you're not just a talented musician.
We have a mayor. He's elected.
Mm-hmm.
I've never run for election. But when something goes weird, people come and ask me. And I give my advice and they can take it or leave it. I have no authority or anything like that. But Sheriff Stanley did come to me and told me about what happened.
And what are your thoughts about the whole situation?
I am concerned.
I bet you are.
I have never heard of anything even remotely like this happening in this neck of the woods. I mean, we have the occasional disappearance, the occasional foul play. We've got moonshiners, and we've got bootleggers, and we've got run-ins with the law in the mountains, and people defending their homesteads, and old vendettas, and ghostly legends, and tales of witches, and that sort of thing. But none of it ever amounts to much that can't be explained. I can't explain this.
Well, you know the area, and since the sheriff has come directly and talked to you about it, I don't think I'm oversharing. You know that those 3 men were surveying that particular part of the mountain.
Yes.
And were, I guess it could be viewed by some they were going to disrupt that area. Do you think there would be anything that would find need for recourse, or anyone that would need to find recourse for that action?
As far as anyone, maybe there were some moonshiners who'd be upset about it, but I can't imagine that they would go to such lengths to surveyors. Like if there was a police officer out there looking for their still, they might get upset. And then
some pretty powerful moonshine to turn them into just skeletons.
Yeah,
that
I don't
is
know
the
no moonshine that does that.
Me. I've heard of nothing like that ever. I'm also worried that 2 friends of mine, who are normally here on a day like today, Clint Jackson and Joel Stevens, they normally bring their shine in for the art festival and exchange goods and services around.
Mabel was saying that. I talked to her.
Oh, Mabel would know. Mabel's a frequent customer of theirs, and they didn't show up. And they were here last month, and it's odd. They've never missed a month in the past 5 years that I can remember.
Oh.
So I'm a little worried about them. They have a still out State Road 35, about 7-8 miles, and then off to the left. Can't tell you exactly where. I ain't ever been out there myself. I don't want to pry into their personal business, but I know that's generally where their still is, and they normally bring their product in this time of year, and they have not.
Might behoove us to go take a look. I was speaking to the gentleman out there, the artist who's painted several pictures of the mountains, and he has a little ridge alcove that he was encouraging me to go and look at. That's off of State Road 35 as well, a little short of where you're describing, about 5 miles down.
I know that. I think I know that place. You mean David over there with the painting?
Yes.
Yeah, he's a delightful fellow. I know where he likes to go to paint. No, it's a little bit beyond that is where the still is.
Mm-hmm.
I'm personally concerned that I haven't heard from them. I would not normally have been, but given the 3 other gentlemen having their issue, I've not been out there. But Sheriff Stanley showed me the photos they took. He looks around and no one else is in the coffee shop, and he leans forward. He goes, "That shit ain't right. They were dead less than 24 hours, and they were nothing but beef jerky and bones. And there were trees growing up from their bowels. There's no way that they died next to a tree and it grew up around them in one day. There is something not right." He kind of leans back in his chair and says, I don't know what's happening out there in the mountains. And to be honest, that's not really my thing. But I will tell you, if you find out what's going on, I will be eternally grateful for me and for the town. If I can help you in any way, I will. Miss Harvey, Mr. Joshua, Mr. Max, and Annalise, if I can be of assistance in any way, you please let me know anytime, and I will do what I can. Because this is my home, and something's going wrong with my home, and I don't like it, not one bit.
How do
And
we
with that, we are going to end this session tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, I know we went a little long, and I thank you for indulging us as we did so. We're going to continue this next Wednesday, and probably for at least another Wednesday after that, maybe 2. So please tune in, and we'll find out what is going on in the Blue Ridge Mountains of Southern Virginia. But before I go any further, I would like to take a moment and introduce our lovely players here tonight. And we're going to start with Alice. Alice, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Hi, my name is Maddie, and I'm the raccoon they warned you about. You can find me on Instagram at Maddie's Comet to follow my travels. I'm currently at the Colorado Renaissance Festival with Chase Treasure, pew, 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 pew. And we're having a lot of fun being absolute gremlins. So you should come see us.
Indeed, you should. And speaking of Chase Treasure and gremlins, we also have we have our lovely Annalise.
Hello, I'm Emily. You can find me on Instagram at Emily_Rauch, ROUCH. I'm also currently at the Colorado Renaissance Festival with Chase Treasure. I'm just a taller gremlin. And then after that, I will be headed to the Connecticut Renaissance Fair starting at the end of August for the full run of that with Crimson Pirates and Once Upon a Time.
Fantastic. And coming right around the edge there, we have Joshua.
Hello. I'm Graham. I just finished up the Oregon Renaissance Fair, which was super cool. We did a very cool thing that was the first openly queer monarch, King James VI and first.
And I absolutely adored that.
Yeah,
Thank
it
you
kind
for
of
doing
ruled.
That was
It was
amazing.
awesome. There's a nice interview that's traveling around that you should go watch if you see it. It's on my Facebook, but it's in the Ren Fair community.
Is there a way to link it on your Insta?
Yeah, I can actually. I
Yeah, you
think.
should probably do that because since
Yeah,
we
I
have your
should.
Insta right up there, you should.
Yeah, I'll link it up
because
there.
I watched it and it's wonderful. I love it.
Thank you. And then other than that, you can catch me at the Pennsylvania Renaissance Fair, August 17th to the 27th. I will be there for yet another season of tomfoolery.
Woohoo!
Fantastic. And we also have with us, we have Max. Max, tell us. A longtime fans of Gothic horror gaming are very happy that you have returned. But please tell us a little bit about you.
Well, hey everybody, I'm Alex Sampoli. I'm thrilled to be back. Tom, thank you so much for having me. And yeah, you can follow me on my Instagram as astompoli. And right now, it's weird to say, I've taken a brief leave of absence from causing terror as the Lady Lilith in the Ren Fair community. And I'm right now doing an off-Broadway show. I'm in Dungeons & Dragons, the 20-Sided Tavern. So tickets are on sale currently right now through November 11th, but we are an open run, so here's hoping. But come join me in New York, and we can play D&D in a room with 500 people and have a good time.
Can they find that by searching Dungeons & Dragons, the 20-Sided Tavern? Will that pop up?
Yes, the website is you go to 20sidedtavern.com. I don't think the in it. Maybe it's the 20-Sided Tavern. I'm so bad at hawking everything. I mean, it's the 20-sided tavern.com.
Is it all one word?
Yep, all one word.
No hyphen?
No hyphen. Not on the URL anyway.
I'm putting it up here so people can see it.
Oh,
bam.
Bless you. Yes. Come out. Yes, that is. That's us. Yeah. It's a blast. We opened officially in May, and we're full steam ahead. So.
Fantastic. I wish I had time to come up and see it. I would love to.
I know I have, but the problem is I have friends who are you're all busy in the summer and you're all across the United States. I can hardly catch you when we're in the same. So it's all right.
We're all booked, but hopefully
we're all
we
booked.
Can get up there. Yeah.
Absolutely. And I'm the Gloom Master. I'm Tom Zadoyko. I am currently my next thing besides emceeing for Celtic Fling at Pennsylvania. I will be at the Maine Renaissance Fair at the end of July, where I will be reviving Sheriff Sir Winston Payne for the Maine Renaissance Fair. And then after that, I'll be at the PA Renaissance Fair doing Buckle and Swash with Ryan Gelodi, a perennial favorite here on Gothic Horror Gaming. And then after that, I'll be in Louisiana doing Buckle and Swash, and I'm also the entertainment director there, so you'll see me running about. I'm sure if you come down and do the Nat 21 D&D adventure with renadventures.com, you will see me there. I'm sure I'll be involved in that, and that makes a very nice segue with, hey, our sponsors. We've got the renadventures.com. They just finished up their Muncaster Castle, England. I do not have a current graphic. I should have that next week for the New Orleans tour. But go to renadventures.com. You can do that. Come on down, play in D&D with us in New Orleans. It culminates in a trip to the Louisiana Renaissance Fair. It's a lot of fun. renadventures.com. I'd also like to thank 3D2U, 3D2U.org, our good friends over there. Amy and Jesse making all sorts of wonderful gaming products, dice towers, dice trays, journals, dice boxes, all kinds of cool stuff. Check them out at 3d2u.org. And of course, Handler Z, who's been in the background dealing with our lovely baby at the moment, but also As an author, she has written a number of short stories. You can find us on Amazon with our book of collection of short stories and poetry, Dare, by Melissa Lee. You can see it right there.
Okay, it's a joke, you guys. Come on.
And you can also get a lovely audiobook version that I narrate on Audible if you are so inclined. We're working on a new one coming up very soon that we will have we'll have the details of it hopefully in the not terribly distant future. I'm trying to find if I've got any further information on our thing. But you can find us on Patreon at Quill and Quote. You actually have to type it in as we do horror, and therefore it's kind of rated R. So you can't just search it. You can also hear my baby in the background right now, the little Helena. And for those of you who are so inclined, I am going to show you her here in just a moment.
Please.
So this is the reason why we've been missing a lot of shows lately. This is the baby.
Oh, it's such a good reason.
Handler Z and I. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You tell them. Tell them they should tune in next week to find out what happens next on our adventures in the Blue Ridge Mountains. Yes, indeed. Where we will discover what horrible things have been happening here in Floyd, Virginia. On behalf of myself and all of you out there with Gothic Horror Gaming, thank you so much. And we look forward to seeing you next week where we will continue the adventure with an added guest joining us next adventure. I'm not going to say who, but it'll be a surprise. All of you can join in and find out more. Thank you so much, everybody, and have a lovely evening. Good night.